This is my kind of town. Chicago is my kind of town. Chicago is my kind of people too. People who smile at you.
What's going on, everybody listening to the Baseball Goombas? Today is June 5th, 2018. This is our 12th podcast episode, a little My Kind of Town by Mr. Sinatra there leading us in. He wrote that song about the Cubs coming in and just basically having their way with the Mets for 4 games.
That is correct. Chris Goomba here, by the way. What's going on? It's been a while. We are back and ready to roll. We got an awesome episode for you today. Hot takes. Are you ready for it? Let's begin. John Goomba, tell them what we're kicking off with.
Mets are 27-30. After their hot 11-1 start, they are now since then they've been 16-29 after losing 4 straight to the Cubbies. Past 5 games they scored 10 runs. And when you average 2 runs a game, that's how you go 1-4 out of the last 5.
That 4-game sweep by the Cubs was not pretty sight by the Mets.
They just looked like an atrocious baseball team on all levels besides deGrom.
Speaking of deGrom,
deGrom continues to be
unbelievable,
to be the best pitcher in baseball. I don't care what Verlander's. Well, Verlander's actually incredible.
Who needs Syndergaard when you got deGrom?
deGrom, National League leading ERA of 1.49. And somehow the New York Mets have a losing
Continue
record.
to waste the starts.
Out of the 12 starts, the Mets have a 5-7 record.
2 wins his last 8 starts.
Which is...
In that time, his ERA is .57.
The guy's just been absolutely incredible. And the starting pitching really is starting to settle in. You're seeing it from Mats. He pitched a great game against the Cubs, even though... I mean, his team didn't help him out. The stolen base home...
There's nothing you can do about it.
That was just a nice
Benny
play.
The Jet.
That was Benny the Jet all the way. There's nothing you can do about that.
The rotation ERA over the last 18 games is 2.66.
They're dealing
like
now.
You said, it is coming along slowly but surely.
And Vargas isn't helping that, but
2-0 Orioles.
2-0 Orioles as we speak.
The start of this.
Way to really get through the first inning there, Jay. Appreciate that. But you could see that it's nice to finally see the starting pitching come around, but it's doing absolutely nothing.
Mets continue to waste the starts, and that rotation ERA is nice, but the bullpen is not helping either.
Yeah,
but you got the return of Swarzak tonight.
Here come the reinforcements.
Stabilize the bullpen, and talk about reinforcements. Todd Frazier's coming back, and for a lineup that sorely needs some production.
Sorely just needs an actual third baseman out there. We're trotting Reyes, we're trotting Guillorme. That's not his natural position,
Cespedes maybe next week.
Cespedes, they are so...
What is he doing?
They are in the dark. They will not tell you one thing. He's refusing the media.
What is he getting out of this?
I don't know. I don't know it's making it shady, and I don't trust anybody right now.
He's dictating what he's doing, how he's doing it. Shouldn't this be the call of the manager?
I saw
I don't know. I don't get what this is aiming for.
Mets posted a video of Cespedes going to do a simulated game with Syndergaard, and he was walking up to the home plate, and he was limping. Like why?
Still?
He was limping to the plate to go swing the bat. So I don't know. He's got the worst legs in baseball. So I don't know when he's ever going to come back. And honestly, when it comes back, all it takes is one play where he pulls up. I mean, it's just constant leg injuries with this guy. But so back again. The starters are finally dealing. The 13th in baseball on ERA with a 3.91. But the bullpen has continued to just absolutely be atrocious. 26th in baseball ERA with a 4.62. They're 13-16 in the pen. They're just absolutely killing them. Blevins,
Blevins. I mean, you keep.
Who is this guy? What happened?
Bringing him in and try to get lefties out, and it's ain't happening.
He doesn't have his curveball this year at all. He can tell he has no confidence in his stuff.
The reason he's on this team is for the lefties, and it's not panning out for him anymore. But real quick about deGrom, since he came back from the DL. May 18th, including 4 starts, all 7 innings, each one.
Yeah.
3 combined runs.
Yep.
Strikeout numbers 13, 8, 8, 13.
He's incredible.
But the Mets just continue to waste it.
They continue to waste it.
They can't score for him.
You cannot lose Jacob deGrom games.
Nah, you can't
lose them. And you're 5-7.
We've been said that.
You're 5-7. You take 5 of those games. You got a winning record. You're right in the pack. But I mean, they just continue to waste away those games between the bullpen and between the hitting. The hitting has been atrocious. That's
an understatement.
Their average 236 as a team, 22nd in baseball. On base is 314, 20th in baseball. OPS 697, 25th in baseball. Home runs 59, 23rd in baseball. They ain't getting it done.
No,
they ain't getting it done.
The thing that got me against the Braves last week was when Callaway left Lugo in for 2 innings.
Yeah,
and
I'm with you.
And he's been steady. He's been a rock in the bullpen.
Win the game. Win the game now.
Right.
Win the game now. Don't worry about the next game. Win this game.
Familia was not brought in for a 2-inning save. And like I said, the thing that got me is Culberson hadn't homered since 2016.
By the way, he looks identical to Dansby Swanson when he's out there. They look like brothers.
Yeah.
Dude, they got the same exact look, size, build, swing, everything. But no, I hear you.
Yeah, no, when you're going bad, things continue to fall. Domino after domino.
Uh-huh.
So he hadn't homered since 2016, and sure enough, what happens? Gone, game over.
Yep.
So just nothing is going their way.
No.
And that carried over into the series with the Cubs.
Yeah, and the Cubs series was just...
all the good fortune that they had in April just completely evaporated in May. And now we're into June, and I can't say that it's going to turn, but... we'll see.
I was at the Friday night game though, where Wheeler versus Chatwood, and it was 2-0. Wheeler was dealing, and I was literally sitting there going, we were winning. I was like, there's no way they win this game. And then here comes like 16 hits in the last 3 innings, and they just completely pulled away from it. And there's no confidence. You could just tell. We honestly need like 10 runs to feel confident that we're gonna actually win the game. It feels like we're constantly gonna blow it. There's just
and that's been the feel
when you
on
go
that
16 and 29. I mean, since your hot start,
last Tuesday was pretty unreal too. Last week, Noah goes down with a finger injury. I was always Team Noah. I mean, I still am. Not really. But there's just thing after thing that pops up with this guy.
Yep.
And, he's been great, but
he's always something.
I don't know. It's always something. And
always
things
something.
are always popping up. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm Team deGrom now. I'm all Team deGrom.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, last Tuesday, so he goes down with a finger injury. Hours later, Steven Matz gets looked at for a finger injury.
That one was weak. Honestly, Matz, who I've talked in the past about how he's a little weak with his ailments, and he feels like he's always got these phantom injuries. But he was mad. He was getting taken out of the game. He's like, it's just sore, and they took him out of it. Let's go.
They took him out.
Let's play some ball.
And what happens? Seawald blows it.
Yeah.
Blevins can't get the lefty Freeman. Markakis out.
Seawald is 0-10 for his career.
No win at all whatsoever.
One win. Let's get that guy a game ball. It's the first time he gets it.
Seriously.
But no.
Jacob Rom comes in. He's overmatched. I mean, just ugly stuff.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to Sandy. He's the architect of the team.
True.
And it was a thin roster to begin with in the beginning of the season. And when you look at the farm system, it's pretty
thin,
pretty barren.
Yeah. There's nothing coming up like the Yankees had to. He's filling the spot. There's nothing there.
He's been the GM since 2010, correct?
Yeah.
So
the closest thing you have coming up is Pete Alonso in Double-A, and he's not ready. Pete Alonso's not ready. He's doing well down there, but I mean, you can't be rushing these guys up just because you need reinforcements.
Maybe it's time to start looking at this guy and saying,
what I would like to see is
Jay Bruce needs to be hitting soon.
I was about to say I want to see just because you're okay with Bruce playing first base now. What is wrong with Adrian Gonzalez? He's one of your better hitters.
He's betting around 250, 260.
Around 260. He's a consistent veteran with a good glove. If he wants to go out there and hit 260, go ahead. I will take it every single time. I'm tired of seeing Jay Bruce this year.
He had a bad.
He looks like
bad series.
He looks like the Jay Bruce we traded for with Dilson Herrera back when we were making the push. But he just looks like he's constantly trying to pull everything.
He's not hit. He's being
Bruce out of the building.
He's being paid to hit, and that's not what he's doing. He's currently batting .227, couple home runs, 15 ribs.
15 ribs is not Jay Bruce. He's a 100 RBI guy.
30 home runs, 25 to 30 home runs, 100 plus RBIs, and like I said, they're paying him to hit, and it's not.
We got a 3-year contract with this guy. He's got to figure it out. We can't be having this.
And he also needs to figure out his position.
Yeah,
in Cubs series.
That's the kind.
Wasn't a good look.
That's the kind of stuff Callaway's talking about when he keeps saying that they're not playing the game right. With we're throwing the wrong bases and all that stuff. But Jay Bruce has to call off that ball.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Fundamentals here.
Speaking of Callaway, I mean, it sure seems like the honeymoon is over.
God.
It's kind of a drastic turn of events. Hard to believe they started 11-1, 12-2, and that quote that he gave was
it's alarming.
A little bit of a head scratcher.
Basically, he said, I saw it on Mets blog. He said, "Let's be honest. This is a tough place to play. New York is tough on players." You gotta be kidding me.
I don't know about that.
I mean, maybe Met fans are turning on Callaway real quick, but I thought that was a huge mistake. I don't think.
He's kind of conceding. Like,
you don't make excuses for your major league players. Plenty of these players were just in a World Series with the New York Mets.
Right. That's the thing.
They were just in a wild card game against the Giants. These are professional players who have made a strong push. To go to the World Series. That team was terrible.
In New York.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like these guys. I don't know. I kind of just.
I feel like honestly,
I didn't understand
when he says really something like that,
excuse.
I feel like he's making excuses for himself.
Oh yeah, because again,
and he's using his players as just shield.
It's just. I mean, it's pretty much the same team, really. Yeah. Honestly. They made those 2 runs. If you want to talk about Rosario, he's still getting kind of groomed, getting used to everything. Cespedes has been here. Bruce has been here before. If you want Vargas, okay, one pitcher, but Swarzak, he pitched in New York before. He was with the Yankees. Yep. Frazier, he was with the Yankees. Yeah. Island, your pitching coach, he was with the Yankees.
Darno was with the World Series team. Plucky was on the World Series team.
I kind of don't. The only person that hasn't been in New York is Mickey Callaway.
Yeah, and
Cleveland for 5 years.
Maybe being in the shadows of a Cleveland pitching coach, all of a sudden he can't handle the Big Apple.
I think he's the one that can't handle the bright lights here, and it's just. Am I in over my head?
What I'm seeing from Mickey Callaway over the course of a couple of months is obviously he's very laid back. We kind of just knew that the second we saw him. He's very laid back, and honestly, I don't think you're going to see Mickey Callaway get tossed once this year. I mean, sometimes you want when things aren't going your way, you want your manager to go out there argue for no reason at all. And just get your team fired up, knowing that you are behind them.
Watching baseball,
I don't think the Mets players feel that he's really behind them. I see him constantly, like I just mentioned before, constantly saying that they're doing things wrong. We're not doing the fundamentals right. We need to
fix it. Fix those things. Stop making excuses and fix those things.
They're doing things wrong. Rally the troops. Get behind your guys.
Don't come out and just make excuse after excuse and kind of concede that we're not really playing great baseball.
Yeah. That's all I'm hearing game after game. We're not playing great baseball. Well, great. Sick.
Thanks.
We didn't notice that. 16-29. No, this is what we expected.
I mean...
No, I honestly...
I would like... Listen, Callaway, again, rookie manager... he knew what he was getting himself into, but
I don't know if he did.
Apparently I don't know if he did. But if the Mets continue down this road, this path, playing terrible baseball, really. I mean, it's just the Cubs series was inexplicable. And again, right now they're down 2-0 to the Orioles, and the Orioles are nothing to write home about. They're pretty
one of the
bad.
worst teams in baseball. Yeah.
So if this series goes haywire.
Down 2-0.
Is it fair to wonder if Callaway survives?
I honestly, so Callaway's leash. It's just the Mets. I mean, I've met plenty of Met fans wanted Terry Collins gone for how many years?
Long time.
And then he kind of saved himself with a World Series push. But I mean, the Mets have just been a team that always gives players the longest leash, and it showed with Terry Collins. It shows with Jose Reyes. They're just afraid. They're not afraid to change. They're afraid of cuts. They're afraid to let people go. I mean, how hard we were constantly booing. How many opening days did we have to boo the training staff before they were let go?
Ray
Ramirez finally got Ray Ramirez to go. Like, could you just they're just so afraid of change. So I know. I mean, the Yankees are a different story, but we just have long leashes. So honestly, I think Callaway can win 60 games this year, and he'll be here next year. I honestly do. And that it's just because it's just the way the Mets are.
I'm all for chances and giving leashes here and there, here and there.
Yeah.
But if the Mets continue to play embarrassing baseball and 20 games under, 30 games under, 55 wins, 60 wins, pushing 65, and it's just a nightmare of Cespedes continues to play on one leg.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time thinking Callaway will be back. I really do.
I'm really starting to get nervous, not because of the record, but also when you see starting at first base, batting cleanup, Kevin Plawecki.
Some of the decisions.
I mean, I'm seeing 2015 all over again, where batting cleanup, playing left field, John Mayberry Jr. Like, why are you batting these 100 something hitters in the RBI spot? Why are you playing? And then next thing you know, Plawecki's the first one to get a hit, but it's in the 6th friggin' inning. Like, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know why in any lineup Kevin Plawecki's batting cleanup.
It's very odd. It's very odd.
Guys are hitting 170. Hey, go clean up the bases there, Kev. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it.
Every move that Callaway made to open the season panned out. I mean, every little thing.
Yeah.
And we were all riding high. Now it's starting to, get a little...
You knew it wasn't going to last forever.
Getting a little dicey. Everything is not working out. Whether it's ill-advised or not, it's not working out.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch right now, and Mets fans are
it's brutal.
Yeah,
this isn't fun.
I can't speak for myself here because, I'm not a Met guy. But I can imagine...
I'll let you know, it's brutal.
I can imagine how these fans are feeling right now, and they are not having fun times in the baseball season here.
The Yankees, they don't lose. I'm so sick of seeing the Yankees with 8 runs.
Well, the Yankees, speaking of the Yankees, they keep rolling.
The 12-run game Yankees.
Keep rolling.
Unbelievable.
I know Memorial Day came and gone, but in the baseball season, kind of Memorial Day is,
you get a good feel.
You get a pretty good reading of the season, where things are headed.
Plummet for the Mets.
And opposite for the Yankees. And so fittingly, it was against the Houston Astros. And, they did all right. Keuchel historically owns the Yankees, but recently hasn't been so bulletproof.
No.
2 starts against the Yankees. May 2nd, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. May 30th, 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. Mm-hmm. So the Yanks now are getting to him, and which is important come playoff time. They're like, they don't think he's invincible anymore.
Yeah.
So
that's
that's a good thing.
Staff's incredible.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I don't know.
It's unbelievable, really. Honestly, Charlie Morton. I mean, he had a rough go of it. I
don't know how they don't have the best record in baseball, to be honest with you. When you just see the rotation and their ERAs,
it's amazing.
I don't know how
Verlander's getting better with age. Morton reinvented himself.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got Verlander, who's Justin Verlander.
Verlander of old.
Keuchel's still Dallas Keuchel, no matter what anybody says.
Yeah.
But Houston came to the Bronx looking to get even, but Yanks took 2 or 3. And now they're 5-2 against them, coming off Game 7 last year. So, it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Gleyber, Tommy Conley back. And they're finally getting whole.
Getting healthy here.
They're getting healthy. And, as the calendar turns to June, we'll see what happens. With the weekend series in Baltimore, they didn't really play.
These
couple of rainouts.
These rainouts
again.
are out of control. Out of control with these rainouts. Play baseball here.
Yeah. One of the games I do want to speak on is last Tuesday night, the 6-5 win in 10 innings. Gleyber with the walk-off.
Yep.
The Yanks had no business winning that game whatsoever. I mean, they flat out did the robbery on your girl, and they completely stole that game from the Astros.
Mr. Steal Your Game.
I mean, 0 bit down 2 in the ninth. They kicked the ball all over the diamond. 5 errors.
Jeez.
When you commit 5 errors, 99.9% of the time you don't win that ball game. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But Brett Gardner belted a game-tying 2-run homer in the ninth, and you guessed it, Gleyber Torres won it in the 10th. And we don't want to speak too much on Gleyber because we already did a couple weeks ago, but he continues to mature before our eyes.
Here, yeah.
It's games like these that really make you think that, hey, maybe this is the Yankee year.
It's good to see a young kid like that doesn't shy away from the moment and can come through.
Plus
playoff time.
Plus, how about that play with Sanchez and Chapman right off the backstop?
Oh yeah,
I mean that was amazing.
Tony Kemp.
Never seen anything in my life.
See Tony Kemp's face when he's like,
how did it even happen? Just Chapman threw like 101 miles per hour.
Playing wall ball.
Right back. Sanchez fired, gunned him down.
Playing wall ball behind the school.
So again, it's little games like that and little wall ball behind
the school. I remember those days.
Good times. That was good. They were good times. And I don't care what the numbers suggest. I'm tired of the Astros bullpen. I really am. I'm tired of it.
That's not good.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
They seem to always melt in the late innings, especially Ken Giles. I mean, he punched himself in the face for crying out loud.
Ken Giles is one of the worst. I mean, think about it. He was traded with, I believe that was the Mark Appel trade. It was kind of our problem for your problem. He's not good. Oh, yeah. Sorry, he's not good. Appel's not even in baseball anymore. They're both not good baseball players.
It's worth mentioning again about Torres. His legend kind of continues to grow with each passing game. He's batting .307, 10 home runs, 28 RBIs. The power is pretty nice. 10 home runs already in not even 40 games.
Who's this, Ozzy Albies?
Yeah. Turning into Ozzy.
Anyway,
it's the same player.
It's the same thing.
It's literally the same player. He's got 2 walk-off hits already. It's a remarkable rookie season. And Boone was quoted as saying, you can feel him really just kind of slow it down and control the moment, and it's true, 100% true. His sloppy defense, he's got to work a little bit. I mean, he's going to be great in the field, but he does commit some errors, and the good thing about that is, he doesn't get down on himself. He'll come right back and pick up his teammates, and he won the game. He had 2 errors that night. And he doesn't let that bother him. He redeems himself, and I'll make it up to you guys. And that's saying something. Control the situation. He's just winning at bats, so it's pretty cool that he's getting mature beyond his years already.
Yeah.
Outside the rotation, okay, that's been a big issue for these Yankees.
Yeah.
And in the news lately, especially with Jordan Montgomery, it broke earlier today that he needs Tommy John surgery, so now he's done for the year.
What they thought was a strained flexor tendon early on is turning into Tommy John.
You kind of knew that was going to happen.
I know.
Really.
He's been out a month after that 1-inning start against the Astros.
Yeah. Outside of Severino, who's just unbelievable.
He's a Cy Young candidate here.
Unbelievable.
As long as he needs Verlander to slow down a little bit, but I mean, he goes 7. Same these deGrom numbers every time. They're pitching very similar. With the 10, 13 Ks each time out there. In
the news, there have been the Yankees are no stranger to getting upgraded into their starting rotation.
Yeah.
Cole Hamels has been mentioned. Bumgarner has been mentioned on the Giants. You have Chris Archer with the Rays.
Seems to be the 3 big
Corbin.
names.
I've heard Corbin. I've heard Jay Happ actually with Toronto.
Yeah.
And the final guy I heard was Tyson Ross with the Padres right now. So, I mean, Domingo Germán, he can't count.
He's struggling. His last
can't,
3 starts, 6 runs,
right
6
now,
runs, 4 runs.
Yeah,
you can't count on him.
He's number 5 right now. You got Chance Adams, Joshua Sheffield lingering in AAA in case for short term.
You know me, Chance is my guy. I've been talking about him multiple weeks, but he's
I'm not opposed to giving these guys
chances.
They are struggling, which makes you believe they're not ready yet to help out the big league club.
He was doing so well last year in AAA, but this year 5.26 ERA in 11 games. He just seems like he's struggling. Sheffield just got there. He's 0-2, but he's got a 3.8. But I still would not rush Sheffield. If anything, if Herman continues to struggle, I'd still call up Josh Rogers. He's a 3.29 and 11 starts. Yeah, he's being consistent down there, and I think Josh Rogers is a good fill-in chance.
They have a slew of options. Just it's a matter of if they're being ready or not.
I wish the Mets had 3 options. But we don't have one.
The Yankees definitely are going to need pitching help, and everybody knows that. You can't have Severino and then a crapshoot of what you're going to get from Tanaka. Tanaka could be a number 1 on any given day, or it can be a number 4.
It's always nice to throw one of those big time starters into your pen for big moments anyway. Like the Mets used to do with Cologne and these. It's just good for a playoff team to have that extra big arm coming out of the pen. That's usually a starter. So I mean, going to get another starter. I mean,
I do think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're looking to get to the World Series and win the World Series, and again, Tanaka, he kind of buckles down in the playoffs. I've seen it live. I was at that wild card game 2 years ago against the Astros.
I went to there too.
It's
was it Kobe Rasmus home run?
Yes,
I was there. That was a shot.
He pitched well. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said,
the Astros just looked like the better team.
Yeah,
they did. They just looked like a better team.
The Gray is an enigma.
Mm-hmm.
You can't trust him whatsoever.
Honestly, going to get another guy would be huge.
Sabathia's 37. He started hot. He's fizzling.
Yeah.
Can't really rely on him. So what do you do? But you got to give to get.
So the main guy I would go for
is Bumgarner.
It's hands down Bumgarner. He's 28 years old, career 3.01 ERA. He's actually scheduled to come back tonight
against Corbin, who is another Yankee pitcher of interest. So,
but the guy with the resume of a 3-time World Series champion, a World Series MVP, postseason ERA of 2.11 ERA. 14 games started, 3 runs or less in 12 of the postseason games out of the 14. He's a true playoff pitcher, and he's the guy I'd be willing to give up a big piece. Like, I know you don't want to give up Andujar, but he's the only guy I would give up a big piece for. Right. Guys like Archer, I think Archer is entirely overrated.
I enjoy Archer.
I don't.
He piles up the Ks.
Oh, Ks! Wow, thanks for Ks.
He's been on the Rays, for years now.
He knows me. I'm very much against Archer.
Maybe he needs a change of scenery.
I don't think Yankee Stadium's the change of scenery for a guy. Past 2 years, his ERA's been over 4, and this year it's over 4. I don't care about your 250 Ks if you're going to keep giving up runs, and Yankee Stadium's not the place for a guy like him.
Well, everybody wants to talk about Cole Hamels. Okay, that's the number one guy. Am I right about that? Everyone wants to talk about Cole Hamels.
He's a veteran.
So what?
But he'd probably be he's a true right. So what? He's getting mad over there. But he's your true rental, and I don't think he'll cost you as much as a guy like Bumgarner. I think Archer would cost more just because of his age. He's 29 years old, and Hamels is 34.
I do think Archer will cost more. Cole Hamels may be the cheapest, but what leads you to believe that they won't ask for
Well, then don't do it. Then don't do it.
But they might.
Well, then say no. We're going to give Andujar for a better guy.
I'm not giving up Andujar for Cole Hamels.
Well, Rangers don't need him. Rangers. He's not going anywhere.
Like but even Bumgarner, okay, you gotta, like I said, you gotta give to get.
You gotta
give to get. Okay, I get that. But as far as Happ or Ross, Archer, Hamels, maybe even Michael Fulmer of the Tigers.
I like Fulmer, but he's young too. He's gonna cost you something because of age and potential.
So if they're looking,
your true rental guy is Hamels for your cheapest bet.
I don't want to see the team give up Andujar for.
Well, that's stupid. I don't disagree with you.
For a Hamels and Archer. Even a Fulmer. I'd rather have Andujar. I really would.
Okay. I don't blame you because I think this would be a 1 year rental. Let's win the World Series now thing because of the depth you have in the minors. Yeah. You don't really need. You don't need Chris Archer. You don't need him. I don't see why you need this guy to be a Yankee for how many years. I don't want him. Sean Chacon all over again? Is that what you're gonna get? Sean Chacon?
Aaron Small. Remember Aaron Swing was like 12-0.
You get a crappy team ace like Sean Chacon coming from the Rockies. Oh, I'm an ace for the Rockies. He comes over and stinks. That's almost such you gotta get out of Archer. You know I'm right. Stinks.
I just don't. I get annoyed with the articles and the news that
at least you're in it.
To trade Andujar, because he was going through a rough patch, 10 games. He's still batting, close to 300.
He still hits the ball. He's aggressive. It's gonna happen. He's gonna be streaky when you're that aggressive.
He's a third. I think he's a third baseman of the future for this team. I really do.
That's fair.
And I do like Clint Frazier, but how many? Yes, they haven't given him a full shot to win, a job because you got Gardner, you got Judge, you got Stanton, you got these guys. I get that, but what has he done for this team?
I still like him though.
So do I.
But you have to. But out of the two, he hasn't been given a chance. And then next year, first of all, Gardner ain't coming back. You're not going to do it.
I think he'll be back. I do.
I think he could very well be your third outfielder next year. And I would not want to pay Harper. Another outfield would be ridiculous. It would be unfair. I'm not even gonna watch baseball next year if that's your outfield. I'm just gonna go home because the Mets. Who's gonna beat that?
But don't forget he got Girardi too.
Yeah.
So he could be trade bait.
He could. You
mean to tell me you'd rather keep Girardi over Andujar for even for J Happ?
I understand that, but people are going to ask for Andujar over Girardi.
And I think the team will be ridiculous to trade him. I really do. He's the third baseman of the future. You pair him with Gleyber and Didi, maybe Machado. I don't know, but I think it's crazy because you are getting Cole. If you were to give up, I'm just saying, practical purposes, the Yankees are dead set on Cole Hamels. The Rangers asked for Andujar, okay, and they do it. You are getting Cole Hamels in anticipation of the postseason, correct or not?
Yeah.
Okay. What if the Red Sox win a division and they get into a one-game playoff against whoever? They throw Severino. Severino gets rocked like he did against the Twins last year.
What was that?
And they go home. So you gave up Andujar for Cole Hamels, who didn't even, for the postseason experience, and they lose in the wild card round.
It's a risk.
It's a game.
I hate the whole wild card game thing, but that's a whole nother conversation.
I just don't. I can't. I don't want to see it happen, and I would be extremely upset. Okay, I'll come on the Goombas and I'll scream my brains out.
To get 100 wins, you got your big time vet starting pitcher to join the staff, and you'll lose the wild card. I hear you.
I'm not giving up Andujar for
Red Sox Yankees is coming down to the wire to take the division. It's coming down to the wire.
And speaking of which, okay, we got together Saturday night, a couple of buddies of ours, and we always talk baseball. That's what we do.
Can't help it.
So we had the Met game going. We had two TVs going. We had the Met game at the bottom, the Yankees up top, and we got just to BSing. And I had a hot take, and I'm going to stick by it. And some of our buddies agreed. Some of the buddies disagreed.
I think I
John
disagreed.
Goomba disagrees.
I disagreed.
But it makes you think a little bit, and I'm going to stick with it. So you talk about the wild card game.
Uh-huh.
At the rate the Yankees are going right now, swinging the bats, not losing series.
Just don't lose.
I mean, they're 20 games over. So if they continue on this very path, as do the Red Sox, it's coming, like John Goodman just said, it's coming down to the very end.
Yeah.
If the Yankees lose out in the division, Red Sox win the division, so they could, Yankees realistically, in the wild card game, 105, 110 wins, say, give or take.
I'll give you 100. I'll give you 100.
I'm going to go 108.
It's a hell of a season.
Right. So they lose out and then get the wild card game. And who knows? I'm just saying, let's just for purposes, let's just throw the Twins in there.
Uh-huh.
Twins, Yankees in the Bronx. They lose that game. The Yankees lose the wild card game after a season that they just had. Is Boone coming? Is Aaron Boone coming back next year? My answer is no, he's not. And I don't care about talk about leashes earlier in the show.
So I don't care about Yankees don't have a leash.
I don't care about leashes. I believe that if they lose the division to the Red Sox. They get into that wild card game against whoever in the American League. My sleeper team, the A's.
Yeah.
And
Who hits?
They're good.
They're built for the Yankee Stadium.
And they lose that game after a season that they just completed like this. Aaron Boone is gone. And who is going to replace him? I'm going to say it here, and I'm sticking to it, and I'm not veering from it. Joe Girardi is coming back, okay? Joe Girardi will come back to this team. Why? Because he wanted to take a year off? No, I don't believe it. He had the Mets, okay? He knew about New York. The Mets could have got
everybody would have taken him if he was available.
Phillies. Yeah. You had the Tigers. You had the Red Sox. Why didn't he accept the Nationals too? Why is he out of a job right now? Because I believe he wants to sit back, wait out this year with Boone, and when the Yankees come calling back, and yeah, I know it's going to look a little bad. I get that. He wants to wait to see if Boone will be there next year. And if they lose the wild card game and he's gone, Cashman's going to come crawling back to Joe, and Joe will come back. Okay, that's my take, and I'm sticking to it. Chris Goomba.
So now John Goomba. So I disagree for a couple of things. First, I think Boone, if that does happen, he will have a 2-year trial. I think if that happens the second year, where they don't make a good playoff push, then he's gone. I don't see if the Yankees lose a wild card or if they fall short next year somehow, there's no way Aaron Boone comes back after his second year. But I just feel like there is now, for whatever reason, the Yankees have this tendency of creating bad blood when getting rid of a manager. And Girardi was managed from 2008 to 17, and he got one World Series in that time in 2009. And they didn't offer him a contract after he took a rebuild team one game away from the World Series.
Right.
And I think there's bad blood there where he felt, unappreciated. He felt insulted. And the same...
I do believe that as well.
The same thing happened to Joe Torre. Joe Torre just won you 4 World Series championships as a Yankee manager, and they insulted the man by giving him a 1-year deal. And he said, get that out of here. And he went on and signed a 3-year deal with the Dodgers. So they just have a tendency of this. Joe said, both Joes. Torre said, get out of here. And it ended badly, and he went and moved on with his life. I agree. I'm sorry, hold on. I disagree. I think actually Girardi wanted a year off. He just managed for 9 straight years. I think he wouldn't mind having a year, just a year to himself. Everybody in baseball knows what a great manager he is. That it's not like if he says, "Okay, guys, I'm ready," they're gonna say, "No, we don't want." They're gonna want him. They're gonna want Joe Girardi to manage the ball club. So I think the bad blood, the way it ended, I don't think he would come back.
You also have the Reds too. They fired in the beginning of the season Brian Price, so you got the Reds. Yeah. Maybe he's talking to the Reds on the side. Nobody knows. But again, I understand the whole bad blood issue. It's not going to look good by the Yankees, by Cashman, and I don't think Cashman and Girardi have that great of a relationship. But
I think
in dire times, I think will Joe listen? I do. And if he wanted a year off, like you just said, he managed how many years in a row? 9. Why is he on MLB Network?
I mean, you could do little side gigs. You're gonna work 7 days a week as like a manager. Traveling.
They interviewed him a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about his relationship with the Yankees, and he says he still has relationships with the Yankees.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And in the back of his mind, I just feel like he is waiting the whole Boone situation out.
But who are the relationships with? Is it with ownership? I don't know. That's the thing.
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying.
Also on Saturday night, I had mentioned the whole staff is different, pretty much, except for Marcus Timms. He's been in the organization, but the mainstay is Rothschild.
Timms.
Why is Larry Rothschild still there?
Mm.
Is he a factor in the end of the year? Hey Joe, I'm still here. Okay, you still got me, pal.
It's true. I mean, I'm sure he'll have plenty of people asking him to come back. I just don't think it'll be. I think he would turn it down just based on just ownership.
I don't know. I just that is just my hot take, and I think that
agree to disagree.
I think that
it's a good thought though.
When it makes you think, it makes you think. When push comes to shove, Joe.
I think we both agree that Boone's leash is short. You're 1 year, I'm 2. But I don't see the Girardi thing happening. I see them going out and getting another young sabermetric guy and just trying it all over again with another one.
They're certainly not going to go with a non-experienced manager if this whole Boone situation doesn't pan out, because that didn't pan out. So they're not going to go and get Beltran.
You'll think they'll go get like a Clint Hurdle?
Yeah, I think they're going to go.
I would love that. I love old school managers. Give me that.
But you saw it with the Jays with John Gibbons. He came back, and granted it's Toronto.
Yeah.
But it's not unheard of.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just, in the back of Joe's mind, even when he was in, I read that interview, and I don't know. It got me thinking that he misses New York, and I'm sure, he's thinking to himself, screw these guys.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes.
He was home for 9 years. So.
We'll see how it goes.
So real quick, we did want to get into just the MLB draft started yesterday, and just real quick over the Yankees first and second rounders, just going over the Mets had the 6th overall pick, and they took
hot hitting outfielder
Jared Kalinick, lefty thrower, lefty hitter, out of high school in Wisconsin.
Lord knows they can't hit lefties, so I'm sure he can
help. So what I mean, obviously you can't predict who's going to pan out. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to be able to do that.
No idea what these guys
Mark
are doing.
Capel, number 1 overall pick, isn't playing anymore, so you never know. But I will say, what I read about him is that he basically has all the tools. He could play all 3 outfield positions. He's got a strong enough arm for right field. He's got raw power and speed. I mean, these are all the kind of things that you want to hear. And not for nothing, the Mets have had a good history of drafting left-handed hitting outfielders in the first round, between Conforto, Nimmo, Jeremy Burnitz, and let's not forget Darryl Strawberry. So they have just I know those obviously different management backed by Strawberry and Burnitz, but I mean Nimmo and Conforto, those are solid picks, and I definitely, all Met fans love them. The way Nimmo's coming on right now. So you
definitely need outfield depth. So it's
I mean, last year we drafted David Peterson in the first round, left-handed pitcher, so out of Oregon. So I mean, it's good to see that we're trying to fill different needs here. And then what I also like to see, it's kind of like fantasy drafts. You go position player, and then you come back with a pitcher, and that's exactly what the Mets did with the second round. Simeon Woods Richardson, right-handed pitcher out of Texas. So fantasy football. Let me get a running back, and I'm going to come back with a receiver. Same thing with fantasy baseball. Let me get a hitter and come back with a pitcher.
What the Yankees did.
Yankees, on the other hand,
the Yankees drafted a catcher and came right back in the second round with the catcher.
I don't understand it. I don't understand. When I saw that, you got to be kidding. I know. So the first round pick, Anthony Siegler, 23rd overall. He's a catcher, but he's a pitcher
as well.
He's a switch hitter, and he's a switch thrower, a little Pat Venditte.
All the tools there.
I mean, he was the second catcher taken in the draft, number 2 behind the number 2 overall pick, Joey Bart, went to the Giants. But I mean,
both catchers. I mean,
it's interesting because you're seeing it more in baseball now, where they're taking these players that can pitch and hit, where they could play. You saw it with Ohtani. You saw it last year with the number 2 overall pick, Hunter Green. He's a pitcher and a shortstop at Notre Dame High School. And you see it with Brendan McKay. He was, I believe, 4th overall pick to the Rays, first baseman and a pitcher out of Louisville. So you're seeing these
new age players.
They're drafting with an open mind that we're going to take this guy in and just see what he's better at. This guy's this much of an athlete that we'll just see what he's better at. But then Here come the Yankees.
2 catchers.
Second
Interesting.
pick, Josh Bro, catcher out of Texas.
Josh Bro. Nick Swisher announcing that pick, by the way. Can't get any more Yankee than that.
Wild Nick.
Josh Bro.
No, I'm happy with the Mets picks. I don't know how you feel about the Yankee ones, but going catcher.
I have
that's
no
just
idea.
Annoying to me.
But
if you got Gary Sanchez coming back, I mean,
maybe again, nobody knows how it's going to pan out. Maybe Gary Sanchez is on another team, or
you don't know.
You don't know what
he starts demanding $300 million.
And they're not going to pay him, and
that's exactly.
So they got to cover themselves with a couple of catchers in the first two rounds. And, if this was fantasy football, that would not be not an ideal draft for the fantasy football guys. But this ain't fantasy football. But no, I mean, like you said, I can't speak on these guys because I have no idea what they're about. And you just got to hope that these guys pan out. Yeah. And, become the next Gary Sanchez.
Yeah, right.
Or Nimmo. Or Nimmo. We can't say about Brandon Nimmo enough.
Nimmo!
The guy's a machine. It's a machine.
Absolutely.
And where's his power coming from?
You can't
Stealing
not
bags.
like Nimmo.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love Brandon
Face of
Nimmo.
baseball, Brandon Nimmo.
On base machine, swiping bags left and right,
Hustle.
hitting home runs, hustling on the walk and pointing to the sky. I saw that video. I don't know if you saw it, but
he always does that.
It's Brandon Nimmo.
Appreciates every walk he gets.
One of the lone bright spots on the Mets this season. Yeah. But that about wraps up this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the little Girardi tape because I'm sticking to it and it's gonna happen. Believe me, you heard it here first by Chris Goomba. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our iTunes, SoundCloud, and be sure to give the Goombas a follow on our Twitter at WeAreTheGoombas. Goombas are back and gone. Salud.
Arrivederci.